Hey guys, welcome back. It's Nick here, and today we are going to do a quick look at the FS Academy line of products that's available on the Orbx Direct store. If we go to the store here, obviously you got to be in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I have uninstalled X-Plane 11. I know Ben and everyone's probably pretty not happy about that, but it's my computer. So, anyways, we'll go to store. It's under Utilities here, and you'll see they got a couple different ones. Basically, they are add-on lessons for your Microsoft Flight Simulator, whatever 2020, whatever we're calling it, Microsoft Flight Simulator, MSFS. They have the basic VFR package, which retails for 35 Aussie dollars, which is like 2 koala bear hugs or 10 bushels of eucalyptus leaves, I'm told. Works out to $27.73 US. I went ahead and picked up the IFR package, which was the same price, and they also offer this Voyager deal, which is a collection of bush trips throughout different parts of the globe. The Alps, Canary Islands, Florida Keys, Gold Coast, whatever. Anyway, so the one I bought was FS Academy, the IFR package. If we go ahead and click open on here on the file, it's going to bring up a little manual, 47 pages, table of contents. The package consists of 12 different lessons, starting with basic IFR and kind of moving through from there all the way up to a full check ride. And as you see, there's NDB, ILS, and all sorts of good stuff in there. If you go through the lessons or through the the manual, the primer, the book, the lesson book, I don't know. You just kind of go through and you'll see it talks about some of the deals. Avoid pausing, obviously, because some of the triggers on here are time-based and location-based. Due to the limitations in the Microsoft Flight Simulator SDK, it looks like they've done this as bush trips instead of the lesson area that's built into it, which is okay. I think we're all aware of all the limitations currently with the SDK and other parts of that game. Be awesome to learn how to do this. I think it would be cool for our FSC group because we have a whole bunch of off airport glacier locations that I'd love to map into a bush trip on here. But the gist of the package is what you do is you sit down and you take a lesson on here in the PDF. So we'll start here with IFR 01 basic IFR. It tells you what plane we're going to be flying. So that's going to be the standard 152, and it works your way up from the 152 to the 172, the G1000 172 to be specific. Not my favorite. I'd much rather fly the analog, but I understand that not everyone has access to that. And then it works its way up all the way up to the Diamond and all sorts of good stuff. So what it does is it's going to tell you what you are going to go over. So we have the level turns, climb on a heading, speed changes, descending turns. So different, putting your plane into different attitudes and power situations. And what you do is, like I said, you kind of read the lesson and then you go and take the lesson in the simulator. So this first one is real basic. It's trying to get you looking at the instruments and focusing on hitting certain numbers. First thing, obviously, instrument scan. That's always important. Why fly IFR? Some minimum for their reasons, some human factors, stuff about, sleep and whatnot. Handy rules of thumb. These will actually be gone over in the lesson as well. So descent, actually they don't go over descent. They do go over rate when turns, anticipations, leveling off. And then, like I said, what you do is you go through and you take it and you go on to the next one. So we're going to hop in the simulator now and we will take a look at how this is set up in there. Alright guys, so now we are in the sim, and like I said before, it's not in the flight training area. That's where you would think they would be, but as I understand it, this part's not really open to development like much of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know I've said it, but it is what it is. So this is all that Sedona stuff. Our stuff's going to be in activities, and then it's under the bush trips. And here we have all 12 of the different lessons here, starting with basic IFR and then moving your way up. So what we'll do is we'll take a quick peek at the basic IFR one, because I don't want to give too much away since this is a paid add-on as far as these trips go. But as you see, it says we're going to practice some basic handling skills, Perfect straight level flight, progressing to more complex procedures. We hit the fly. It's cool. It's got the little tooltip deals down below. Begin leveling off 10%. Make sure to check out the ground school manual, which we already did, right? And hopefully it should load up here. For some reason I had recorded this and my microphone didn't catch, and then I recorded again and it went down to like 1440 with pretty much all the stuff turned
Welcome
off.
to Shoreham on the UK South Coast, where we'll begin our study of instrument flying by starting with the basics. Make sure to take a look through the manual as you progress to arm you with the knowledge you'll need. It doesn't take much for the weather to close in and prevent visual flight. Anytime the conditions at an airfield are worse than 1,500 feet cloud base and 5 kilometers visibility, flying visually is not permitted. This is when an instrument rating is there to help you. Flight on instruments alone requires accurate and smooth handling, so we'll look at doing some handling practice with the conventional Cessna 152 with analog gauges. Complete your checks, and when you're ready to go, taxi ahead to the holding point of runway 20.
Yeah, so it's fully voiced over, which is effing amazing, right? And then if you notice, when we went outside, the voice actually changed and had a, I don't know what you want to call it, that radio kind of sound to it. So we'll go ahead and we'll just do the first two maneuvers that he's going to have us do. So turn the plane on. Let's check our fuel. Bam, bam, we're good to go. Mixture all the way in. We're at sea level. Crack the throttle a little bit. Go through the key and on it is. Back to both the mags. We're not even going to check all that. Realistically, we should, but it's not going to affect anything on here since we're just doing this for demonstration purposes. So we got a throttle. What we'll do is we'll get up to the runway here. What do you say? Climb, maintain 2000 runway heading. Oh, it's a bit fast. Here we go.
Golf Foxtrot Sierra Alpha Charlie, cleared line up and take off. Runway 20, wind calm.
You know, since the last, the UK update last week.
Take off and head south, climbing to altitude 2,000 feet.
As I was saying, since the UK update, there's a lot of screen tearing going on. I've seen several posts about it. Lined up. About 200. Full. We'll mix it out just a little bit because it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's not super good at this. And we could easily take off. I don't know why it wanted us to have flaps, but it is what it is. Anyhow, so what we need to do, right, he asked us to climb 2,000 feet, maintain runway heading, just somewhere around 2.5. Probably should be climbing at anywhere from 800 to 1,000 feet. Can easily do it. Climb out at about 80, 75, 80. Beautiful area. What do they say, Shoreham? We're drifting a little bit, so we need to correct. And basically what he does...
The first thing we're going to try is leveling off at an altitude. As discussed in the manual, there is a rule of thumb for choosing when to begin reducing your vertical speed to achieve a smooth and reliable level off. Use 10% of your current vertical speed to work out when to begin the level off. The 152 climbs at about 800 feet per minute, so start leveling off with 80 feet to go. That's at 1,920 feet here.
Yeah, so basically he's going to ask us to put the plane in several different attitude and power configurations, and our goal is to match that. And that's kind of the basic of this lesson, the basis of this lesson. And then obviously it wants you to do that because, you know, it gets you used to kind of scanning your instruments, kind of checking to see where you're at. And the next lesson obviously builds upon that, builds upon that, builds upon that. It's going to have us level off here at 2,000, and then it's going to ask us to start doing rate 1 turns. So we'll go through that, and we'll do a rate 1 turn, and then we'll hop out and give you some thoughts here. What do you say, 19A20? So we're almost there. 18.
Level off here and maintain an altitude of 2,000 feet.
So we'll give it a little bit of trim down to level out.
All of the turns you make flying IFR are to be made in the same way. This is a constant rate of turn of 3 degrees per second, called a rate 1 turn. To achieve this, use another rule of thumb. Take 10% of your airspeed and add 7. This figure is the target bank angle for a rate 1 turn. Turning at rate 1, you'll perform a 180 after 1 minute and a 360 after 2 minutes. Try to make all your turns throughout your IFR flying at a rate 1 turn. For example, if you're flying at 100 knots, 10% of 100 is 10, add 7 gives 17 degrees bank angle. Now turn left to a heading of 090 degrees.
Alright, so what are we doing? About 107, something like that. So 107, 10, so we'll round that up to 11 plus 7, that's 18 degrees. So we'll go left, 090. There's 10. Obviously,
please make a left turn to heading 090.
Somewhere close to that, while maintaining our altitude, of course. All the time focused on our instruments. We're a little high. Bring the power down a little bit, let it fall. Oh, we're slipping out of our turn. A little bit more bank, and leveling off at 090.
Maintain 2,000 feet on heading 090 for a short while. Accelerate to a cruising speed of around 110 knots.
Bingo. So once again, he's asking us to put the plane in a specific attitude and power configuration. And that's basically, well, like I said, what you're going to do for this first lesson, and then once you get used to that, you know, when you get to the next lesson, it just kind of builds upon each skill and each deal. So we'll head back into the sim here, into the main menu. You know, for the price, I think it's a cool little add-on. Even if you're a professional pilot like Mark and you go around the world in your 747 hauling rubber dog shit and spraying chemtrails all over the place, it's always good to go back and kind of refresh yourself on these basic skills. You know, and if you're brand new to the flight simulator world, it's a good opportunity to pick up either that VFR one and kind of build upon there, although I think the built-in Asobo ones are okay. Maybe not as good as the ones from like Flight Sim 2004. And if I remember right, there were some in FSX as well, using the Machados. But I think for $28 US, it's a very well worth investment to kind of go through and just keep, like I said, if you're good at it, you know, keep your skills up to date when it comes to some of these items, especially some like the DME arc that it goes through, and then holding patterns. Holding patterns are always fun. And then if you're new, then it's a good place to build those skills. But like I said, 27 or 28 US dollars, whatever it came out to, 27.70, well worth the money in my opinion. You know, I bought it and I've been enjoying it so far. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We do have some stuff coming up. We got some new releases that we'll do some reviews on. We got the Carinato Piper Arrow along with the Just Flight Piper Arrow. Looks like the one will probably be released maybe a week before the other, and we'll pick both of those up. I have the P3D Just Flight Arrow, so it'll be good to kind of compare and contrast between the P3D one, the Microsoft Flight Simulator one, and the Carinato one. So we'll do a video on that. There's also something really to look forward to. It's the Milviz Piaggio 180 Evo that should be coming out here very soon. for P3D V5. That's going to be a day one purchase, and we'll definitely have a review video up for that. And then I have some new hardware showing up. We got a new set of rudder pedals, a Honeycomb Bravo finally. Been waiting on that forever. And then I have this thing called a Class Echo that's showing up. If you Google it, you'll see it's on Etsy. It's pretty nifty. I'm going to do a review and a build of that for the video. So, stay tuned. If you guys like what you see, please hit the like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Always like seeing comments down below, so let me know if you liked it, didn't like it. Hate me, love me, want to hang out sometime, get a beer, I don't know. I smoke cigars, so bring me cigars, send me cigars. But yeah, anyhow, this is Nick, signing off. Thanks, guys. Bye.